So we just got through talking about how important the infrastructure is, intangible assets, tangible assets, the human element to creating a real experience so we can start generating sales, right? And the taxonomy here, breaking this down, essentially, if you look at the last diagram from the previous session, we really are talking about how the vision interacts with the culture and the team. That's going to lead to both an experience internally and externally. And let me tell you why it's so important that you give, and why it was important when I got hired as an investment banker, why it was so important to have a positive experience internally. When people want to work with you, when people enjoy working with you, they give you more opportunities, and you give them more opportunities. You're more productive. It's this collaborative, this very collaborative versus a very siloed or segmented culture, or management structure, right? We want to be more collaborative. We want to be more communicative. This is how the best companies in the world are operating. Most of them are smaller because they're flexible. They're much more nimble. Again, they're our judo management style, right? So today we're talking about strategy plus and understanding that it's the vision, culture, the team leading to the experience, which essentially is going to bring us cash flow, right? Money. Now, we're building our infrastructure. We don't have all of the assets internally in terms of tangible or intangible or human that we want. We're always building, but we still need to launch. We still have to launch. And I want to break this down to you in your go-to-market strategy, okay? We're talking about strategy plus. Strategy plus, my friends, is your go-to-market strategy, okay? And again, this is really more of a tactic than anything, but people like to use what's your go-to-market strategy? Well, we know that our go-to-market strategy is going to be with the cult, right? You remember the cult, customer, user, lead, tester. These are aficionados. These are people that categorically reject mediocrity. They only embrace superiority. This is who we need to get our product or service into the hands of first. This is in the chronology of customers, who is the influencer who's going to help generate sales, because we don't have money like Samsung has money. We don't have the internal assets, the tangible assets, the financing. We don't have all of the Lean Six Sigma people. We don't have all of that. We have a group of motivated, highly competent, and capable individuals. We're building this rocket ship as we go. We're going to do a soft launch, and this is a paper airplane for those of you who can't decipher that. This is a paper airplane, and you're going to issue a soft launch. This is part of your go-to-market strategy, and it's going to be with the cult. I want you to do this in phases. You need to understand tactically that your strategy needs to be implemented through a series of processes. Let me say that again. You need to understand that tactically your strategy needs to be implemented through and over a series of processes. The process, identify your infrastructure, your intangible, tangible, human assets, right? Identify the cult. Which customers are the most discerning, the most critical, the critic of critics, right? That's who we have to impress. And this is who our soft launch is going to be initiated with. This is our soft launch, my friends, and this is our paper airplane. And while you're going through this, we have to think. We have to think, and I want to pause it here again. We have to think, what are we going to outsource? What are we going to insource? What is it that we're going to do? What is it that we need what is it that we need to outsource? And these are fair questions. You can't do everything internally, but this is what I want you to think about. We're always striving, my friends, for vertical integration, right? And if you see our soft launch, we're a little more horizontal. We're not straight up. We're a little more now, I don't want you to confuse horizontal integration with a horizontal management matrices or a flat management matrix. Two different things. Vertical integration is all about the value chain. It's all about the value. Think of it like this. Think of a mining company, okay? Okay, so you have you have a company that's mining diamonds, right? And then they buy or they start building a competency or capabilities in polishing and cutting those diamonds. And then they build a competency in polishing those diamonds. And then they build a competency in making jewelry with those diamonds. And then they have a competency of retail. They actually have the physical store. So that's vertically integrated, meaning that they control all of the process. Very little of it is outsourced. They're controlling the majority of the processes internally. They're controlling the processes internally. And this is, I can't spell today, internally. This is a competitive advantage. The more you outsource, the less control you have in terms of timing and quality. You're having customers that need and want their product, yet you're waiting on things, right? So I want us to move towards more vertical integration. But right now, as a startup or a smaller enterprise, we're a little more horizontal in our integration because we have to outsource a lot of things. But we're thinking, what is it that we can outsource? What is it that we do outsource, right? How much training? And I want you to think of your organization. Think of your organization, okay, as something bigger than you. This is going to be a learning platform, meaning that yes, you're there to make money, but you are also there to make sure that all of your motivated partners and employees are learning. How organized are you going to be? I want to put this in a real world context. I'm going to tell you what one of the firms that I own, I have a digital marketing firm. One of the companies that I own is a digital marketing firm. And we work mostly with influencers, and we've launched products, everything from video, for movies to product, right? To physical product. And an organization, as we know, is a process. But I want you to think of utilizing products like Slack. I want you to think of using another product like Trello. And I want you to think of another, and it's time for you to start doing some research, Team Gantt, right? Now, Slack, my friends, is our communication. Communication. Yes, we text, we call, we also have in-person meetings, believe it or not, but we also use Slack. Trello, this is our task manager, right? These are all the tasks that need to be completed and by whom. And then Team Gantt, this is our timing, who's doing it and when it's done, right? Think of how you can utilize these tools to make you more organized, okay? It's not just about making sure you're on time. It's about making sure you're communicating. It's about making sure, and again, we don't have we don't have managers managing every single task. We have to do it all together. This is launching a rocket. This is their next step. Launching is their hard launch. It's a team effort, right? It has to be democratized. Everyone has responsibilities. How many of you would cherish the opportunity to work within an organization that's going to give you the responsibility? They're democratizing. They're basically saying, hey, you have say in this. How do you want to do this? You tell us how to help. Because in my world, I'm going to tell you something. In my world, I don't have time to hold people's hand. I am hiring people to tell me what to do, right? That's a real organization. And we have grown and grown and grown exceptionally fast and exceptionally well because I have democratized. I have democratized the process. I have delegated, right? And we utilize tools like Slack, Trello, Team Gantt, etc. We have a set of processes, and we are becoming much more vertical. Every day, we are becoming much more vertical in our value chain, and that's critically important. You understand that once you start building, once you begin building your infrastructure, your intangible, tangible, human assets, you can start thinking about a soft launch with the Colt, and then you can do a hard launch with the Colt and we'll say other influencers. And this is strategy plus, my friends. This is strategy plus. This is participation management. That's what strategy plus is. I'm Senor Chavez, and now we're cooking with gas.